The College Basketball Experience Weekend Bombs Edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US-based and available in 40 different states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pickup for a chance to win 100 times the amount of money you could enter in NBA, MLB, NHL, college basketball, and much, much more. Sign up today with the promo code TCESGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by a Hall of Fame Bets. Yes, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Brian Bosworth, a.k.a. The Boz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother. Peace out. Boz out.
Yes. Woo! We are here. College, welcome to the College Basketball Experience Weekend. Yes, we have the first day of the Sweet 16 done, but we have the second day tipping off in a couple hours here, and we have Elite Eight lines for Saturday out. Even an NIT game to talk about, folks. Hop on over youtube.com/the college experience. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
Yeah, it was a shock. I thought, it's a mistake. You know, I'm like Popeye or Buffhead in the cartoons. Those kind of people don't get sick. I've never been sick in my life.
I've never been sick a day in my life when you got college hoops on and all these other. We just got done doing the UFL gambling podcast. Check out that.
Yes.
Week 1 starts tomorrow. The United Football League.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Just go check it out. UFL Gambling Podcast. You're going to watch that episode. Subscribe. But now it's college hoops time. Hopefully you enjoyed that Frozen 4 episode that me and Beanick did. We've been cashing on the Frozen 4. Just released a Sunbelt 2024 college football preview. Get on over there, College Football Experience. FCS College Football Experience doing it. But really, it's the College Basketball Experience doing it. And another show that's doing it, as you can see if you're on YouTube right now, this man I am joined by, the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, which you should be subscribed to. He is also known as the man in the box, a.k.a. the Bet Detective, a.k.a. CJ Sullivan. How you doing, buddy?
Great, buddy. Guys, who said we just packed in a UFL episode, jam-packed. It's huge, double episode, basically, with week 1 lines in DFS. And I just can't believe how multifaceted you are. A Frozen 4 episode. The college hockey. You already caught a bad beat with Omaha. It was a great dog you gave.
That was killing me. Omaha should have won that fucking game.
I know.
But the Denver Pioneers early came through for me. Kind of a little controversy.
Well, the best
controversy, right?
A little controversy. They reviewed the goal. One of my favorite things in hockey, where they got to review. It's an overtime winner. It was a double overtime winner, but they had to review it. So everyone's just standing on the sideline, ready to celebrate like they just won, but they have to wait till the ref is the announcer. All right, and it's a goal. All right, and they jump up. And the Omaha line on Bet Online, they didn't even give me a money line. It was just a puck and a half. Like, I can only get 1.5, and and you look like I just absolutely slapped your goddamn mother in front of your face. You said, what did you just say to me? There ain't no money. What the hell did you no money line? What fucking devil book are you looking at?
Oh yeah.
And they were looking out for me because I took Omaha plus 1.5, and that was a winner.
Woo. Moneyline Ed saying CJ Sullivan's funny as fuck. He needs a TV show featuring Pick Dundee.
Well, this is it right here. What are you talking about? You're watching the show with CJ Sullivan and Pick Dundee.
And by the way, jump on over. Western Michigan's live. Quinnipiac, the Aqueduct is live. Frozen 4 action. Hop on those. But we're here for college hoops.
Yeah, but thank you, Moneyline Ed. Let's do it.
Yeah. And Cal Sports love that my Clemson Tigers continue to piss in Moneyline Mac's face.
Face pissing.
I mean, let's talk about that for a second because I was on Clemson. I sprinkled the money line, thankfully. And that was about my only good college basketball play last night because holy shit. I mean, San Diego State UConn game, I actually didn't touch, but I still picked San Diego State plus the points. That was foolish.
That was very, very foolish.
Yes. You were on UConn, right?
I was on UConn. I went 3-1 on the sides. I had Clemson plus the 7, UConn and Illinois lost Carolina like the rest of the world. I did have the over in the Illinois game, which would have hit if Illinois could have hit. I don't know. Maybe 5 to anything of the 20 missed free throws they had last night. Jesus
Terrence
Christ.
Shannon couldn't hit a free throw to save his fucking life. The Alabama North Carolina game I thought was crazy. I don't think I feel like Alabama stole that game.
Oh, for sure.
Like and Carolina was up majority of that game, and down the stretch, just ridiculous coaching, ridiculous plays. Obviously, I know Jalen Withers is taking his hits on social media, but what the fuck, man?
Well,
I mean,
there was that shot. I don't even blame him. I mean, that could have been a more Carolina and Arizona, quite frankly, way to lose those games. I had all Arizona futures too. I'm like, it's all set up for them perfectly. They had the LA regionals. The Final Four is basically a home game for them too. And they just do what they do. And Carolina State, I think RJ Davis, Caleb Love, I think it was the first time ever either of them went, the two players went combined more than 0 for 9 from 3 in a Sweet 16 game or something like that. They went like 0 for 22 combined. I mean, it was insane. Stop shooting the ball. I hate to hey, shooters got to shoot their way. Keep shooting your way. No. Shoot your way through it next game, all right? Pass the fucking ball to one of your other goddamn All-Americans and beat this team.
Shout out to Helps22 saying, does the CJ and Dundee show continue after college? It does.
Yeah,
it does. We got college football. We got college baseball. We got all this shit. UFL.
College football is right where the piss
Yeah.
in the face came from when UNLV football pissed in our face
Oh,
all
they
year.
certainly pissed in our face. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, we look.
And we're on UFL right now as well, Helms.
And we got the CFL kicking off. I'm going to make this guy pick some fucking Winnipeg Blue Bombers games.
Oh, yeah, I'll get
better
in there.
believe it. You better believe it.
College intramural show. Can we do that? Any kind of
some track races.
All right, let's do it.
Well, I mean, Illinois, Iowa State game. I took Iowa State. They fucking suck. They pissed me off so much.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. That was the only thing. Iowa State was this, everyone liked
They
Iowa State
choke
aside.
every
Like,
fucking
that's what
year,
they
man.
Do.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Their offense just looks like garbage so many times.
You can't start a game down double digits when you're Iowa State. You can't. They're not a team that really can battle back. They never had to lead 1 fucking second.
They're not built to come from behind, even though they did come from behind. But that was a lot because Illinois just couldn't hit a free throw. But I don't like teams that if they can't turn you over, then they're in trouble. And that's the thing. If they don't turn you over and they don't score on that, then they don't know what to do. Like their half court offense is absolutely fucking. It's like me and double dribble with the broken controller. It's just not happening. And but Shannon, like I said, he's got that 25th hour stuff. He knows once this season's over, he's going to jail. So he's on a mission right now.
25th hour, yes. And look, man, they play UConn. We'll get to that game, but let's jump right in. But before we jump right in, I want to tell you that this is the college basketball experience on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And SGPN is home to 20 plus gambling podcasts that are all completely free. In honor of March Madness, this week's featured shows are the Sports Gambling Podcast, the flagship show for SGPN, hosted by Ryan Real Money Kramer and Sean Stacking the Money Green, where the guys have picked every NCAA tournament game against the spread since 2012. And of course, this very show, we're brought to you by this show, the College Basketball Experience, with myself, Moneyline Mac, Noah Beanick. I know we'll be back later tonight. Might have a guest. I think we're gonna have a little guest appearance. Ooh. And CJ Sullivan, who he donates some time over to the College Basketball Experience.
Absolutely, I dip in there. I dip in the chat. I dip on the show. Do everything.
Oh yeah.
Top on demand.
So subscribe to both the Sports Gambling Podcast and the College Basketball Experience wherever you get your podcasts. All right.
Nice. Look at Frankie Cox trying to throw his kid, literally throwing his kid under the bus in here. You need to parlay right now like a fucking fiend. Kid into my veins. I need a parlay right now. I'm going to place a bet right now because my son's at swimming. Hey, we don't.
Yeah.
Go be a father, Frankie Cox. Don't for us as jam a parlay, but we'll give you a parlay anyway.
Yeah, we'll give you a parlay. Tell them to do another lap.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it moving down the lanes. You know what I mean?
Frankie, are we talking only college hoops, or you want to go all across the board? Because we already did the UFL pod. Me and CJ are a couple DJs. Got some action riding on the Phillies right now as they're taking on the Braves.
Bullpen just blew the game.
I got the Frozen Four picks. I'm telling you, college baseball. I mean, where do you want to go? Anywhere we lay our hat is our home. But let's start off, CJ, with the game that's about to tip in about an hour and 40 minutes. NC State Marquette.
Yep,
this line's going up a little bit.
I know. I can't believe this keeps going up to 7.5. It was at 6.5 all week. Then it ticked up to 7.
Out of here.
I know. This is. I'm not really understanding this. I've been touting all tournament that it's time to submit to NC State. Just getting there. This is what it is. Like it or not, this is just what's happening with them. At the same time, this Marquette team, they can be in a 2-point game and win by 12 before you even know it. It's like
Exhibit A, Western Kentucky to open the tournament.
Exactly. They're down 8 at halftime. It was tied with 10 minutes to go, and they won by 20 and covered a 14.5 spread or whatever the hell it was. That was insane. So I don't know what I feel about this game. I'm liking the Big East, but 7.5 is a lot for the NC's. For quite frankly, a Marquette team that could have lost both games.
See, and I'm the other side of the spectrum because I know you're sitting over there saying
it's easy to see a tide turn.
Yeah, I am.
And look, I hate the pussy pack. I hate the pussy pack. Now, it is smart to go against me when I am taking the pussy pack.
Yeah.
So I like that angle, but I think not only is the plus 7.5 a play, I think the money line is live.
I definitely think they're live, but I also think Marquette wins by 12. I mean, I think both is true, and I think it'll be the same type of game.
Well, I don't bring the head comb, but they're counting down 7.
CJ makes a great point.
Because I understand how the bastard thinks.
Look, here's my logic here. The way NC State's playing, the momentum, I just think Marquette, had Tad Boyle been just a half decent basketball coach in Colorado, I think would have beat him. Right. But I think NC State actually can match them talent for talent. Like I really believe NC State's team is coming into form.
Yeah.
DJ Horn, the transfer from Arizona State, Morsel, the transfer from Virginia coming in, Jaden Taylor playing good ball. I just think and this hasn't been a phony run. As much as I wish it was a phony run,
no,
they did beat Carolina and Duke along the way.
Yes,
as well as Texas Tech, who's a quality team.
Yep.
So I mean, they've definitely ran through some good opponents along the way, and I think they're capable of winning this outright. I'm going to take the 7.5, and as horrible as this sounds, I'm going to lock it up.
Oh,
I think the money line. I think the money line is live. I'll be honest. I'm betting every Sweet 16 game. There's no San Diego State UConn game where I did not. It was the only game I did not bet. Wow. This game for today, college basketball. I'm betting every fucking game on the card.
You gotta bet every game on the card. What do you think of the total? I think that over is a nice solid play there. Even though it's 151, these Marquette overs have been flying over.
Yes, I would lean that way too. I know, I guess you bring up the fact that like NC State's like I think in the 170s in pace.
Yep.
Who cares?
I don't care. Right. Exactly. They run and when you saw, but I mean, obviously Western Kentucky's a different beast, but like once they start running back forth, they are fine no matter what style you want to play. And Marquette can just go up and down with you.
Yeah. That game's on CBS. Tip it at 4:09 for some strange reason. Let's bounce over to a game that I look, the dogs, I think we saw it with Clemson barking, with Alabama barking. And with the Illini barking yesterday, does that continue, CJ? Because I think Gonzaga is live against your boy Matt Painter. All right, they're getting 5.5.
Yeah,
plus 190. I think I saw last plus 195, something like that.
I'm looking at it right now. It's come down to 5 now. It was at 5, and I got 5.5 earlier. 5.5 plus 185 now. Yeah, both lines going against me. If you want Marquette or Gonzaga. DJ Burns. I love when they gave him ice cream after the game last time. But 5 and 185 for Gonzaga. I haven't heard too much Purdue support. I get it. Purdue beat them by 10 earlier in the season, but that was a different Gonzaga team for sure.
And if you go back and actually like watch that game, it's a little closer, I think, than people think. Give you an idea. Gonzaga was up 5 at halftime.
Yeah.
I think it makes for a trickier game. Like you go back and look at what happened there. EK was new to the team. Nebhard was new to the team. Key players that had just been, the season had just started. That was the first 2 weeks of the season. So I love, and then you give Mark had a few, some real time to prep for this. Is like a you win or go home situation. I think Gonzaga's live. I think they're gonna look. I'm sprinkling both.
They're 100% live. Yeah, they're 100% live here. One, like I said before, they're peaking at the right time. This is a completely different Gonzaga team than other Gonzaga teams. Even the better Gonzaga teams that won 30 games in the regular season, then they would kind of run out of gas come tournament time. They're peaking. They're going up. Now a little bit does worry that me. I mean, their offense looked as efficient as anyone the first 2 games. Kansas was a great matchup for them. Obviously, we knew we were all over that. That was going to be a blowout. So I think it might be a little overinflated, but Purdue's doing the same way too. And they're on a mission. I mean, we're just going to trust Painter now coming in here.
Yeah.
They do have a Zach Edey problem. They have no one obviously that can guard him. They have no size whatsoever. So they're going to have to double them. Kick it out to those guards, and it'll be up to those Purdue guards. They either perform or they don't. And if they do, now we got a problem. I mean, Purdue can absolutely light them up. This is another one where I see a lot of points. So I don't see Purdue stopping Gonzaga either, because they have the most efficient offense going right now in the tournament. So I'll definitely take the 5.5 and sprinkle on the money line just because I trust my view.
We got a problem. Yeah, I mean, if that happens, that is a problem. Sorry, I must play that twice. But I think the Zags are the right side of this, and I can't. That's a game I really want to watch.
Yeah.
There's 2 games I really want to watch.
That's the early one. That's in Detroit.
Yeah, in Detroit. And then you got
they mistook their team buses as migrants or something on Twitter.
I did not see that.
Pretty funny. Here they come by the busload. It turned out to be the Gonzaga basketball team.
That's great.
Gotta love
Duke in Houston tonight, 6:39 p.m. Dude, here's what scares me. This reeks of the Carolina Alabama game again. Everyone I talked to was on Carolina.
Yeah.
I still feel like that was the right side. I took Carolina. I bet the hell out of Carolina.
Yeah.
We're in the same spot here with Houston and Duke. I mean, I feel like Houston is going to fuck them up. I just think athletically, from a physicality standpoint, I just feel like they're going to give Duke a lot of problems.
Yes.
But
I agree.
Everyone's on Houston.
Well, see, I this is where I disagree with you. I don't think it's as bad as Carolina, Alabama. I heard nobody giving Alabama a shot or even arguing for him to win the game. There's plenty of Duke supporters. I mean, I like Houston a lot too on this one, but I mean, Duke has looked as good as anyone too, as much as it hates to say it. I mean, obviously they fucked up the two worst teams. I mean, the way
They didn't look no, they didn't look that great in the Vermont game.
Right, not the Vermont game, but they did versus James Madison, and everyone saw that. That was like a standalone almost game, So I've heard people on Duke. It's not as lopsided as Alabama now, but Houston definitely more physical. My only worry about that is Houston's not deep. They have a lot of injuries. You saw them all fouled out last game when they choked that A&M game away. And
I was on A&M. Thank you, Houston.
And if the refs call like they do a normal Duke game, like they did versus James Madison, and let Flopowski, shout out to Moneyline Mac there, Nancy Kerrigan as I call them, if they let them bitch and whine their way to these cheap calls, and Houston could be in a lot of trouble, But if they let them be physical, which the other games have been during the tournament, then I think, like you said, I think Houston is just a style problem for Duke.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the Cougs minus 4.5, whatever. I think you could get a 4 out there.
You can get a 4 out there, which you never see with Houston. And Duke, but besides, like you said, the Vermont game wasn't that great. Yes, they looked amazing. Probably their best game of the year versus James Madison.
Yeah.
Before that, they haven't won since February 2nd. I mean, they were terrible. They were a wreck.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to go sucking their own D just now, as Puff Daddy would say. I like Houston minus 4 here. I like 2 faves. That's my 2 faves so far. Marquette and Houston, Zaga, and we'll get to the next game.
Yeah. And Michael Creighton, welcome to Jurassic Park as they take on Tennessee. Creighton, Tennessee.
Yes.
This line's gone up. The Vols have gone up. What am I missing here? That it's gone up. Now, I am fascinated by watching this game because you have a complete culture. Like Tennessee's a defensive team first. Creighton's an offensive team first. But I think Michael Creighton's got enough scores that they could really pose some problems to Tennessee. I'm all over Michael Creighton plus 3.5. I mentioned this. Rick Barnes been to the NCAA tournament 27 times. This is 28th trip this time. He's only gotten past the Sweet 16 twice. I'm going to back history here. Give me Creighton plus 3.5. I do think the money line is live. Yeah. So X marks the spot. Get on over there and hit and take advantage. What are you doing here, buddy?
Yeah, I agree with Helms 22 in the chat room. Of the 4 games tonight is my favorite one. I like Creighton. Plus the 3.5, no problem. I took them on the money line. Plus the 3.5. I think they win this game. I said this before when I took Texas plus the 6.5, even though I kind of got a little lucky, but that's how bad Texas was. Congratulations, Tennessee and Rick Barnes, for beating St. Peter's. Congratulations. But you can slap on all the paint you want. The house still needs renovations. They are still a wreck. And that Texas game didn't impress me either. I think we're getting a great value here. Everyone just assumes Tennessee's back to that team they were for 80% of the regular season, and not the last 3 weeks, which I think is more towards reality. Now, I mean, there's somewhere in between. Creighton got that scare, obviously, versus Oregon. They got lucky to get out of there. I was on Oregon, one of the worst beats there was. But they're also on a mission. They should have been in the Final Four last year. That terrible foul for San Diego State in the Elite Eight. And they know that, and they talk about that. And they're like the businessmen. They're businessmen special. They go on business trips. To Cedar Rapids. They're up in the morning for that continental breakfast in a hotel. They are very workmanlike. They're up there, and they got the omelet station before 9:30.
Team leader says Tennessee's better than what you think, Sullivan.
I mean, Tennessee's great. They had the 1-star score, but I mean, they've always had the defense. Now they finally have an offense to go with it. But if he's not scoring, they're in trouble. But if either way, if Creighton's hitting their threes, I don't care who you are, UConn, whoever it is, they can fuck you up quickly.
Yeah. Helms 22 says, "Do you think we see a 4 or does it sit at 3.5?" I think it probably stays at 3.5.
Yeah, I don't see it.
If anything, I think it goes down to 3, maybe.
Who knows? I mean, it's juiced right now to 115, but I don't care. I like 3.5 right there.
What the hell just happened in this Braves game? 9-2. I see all the Philly fans leaving. The fuck? I'm sitting here talking. What the hell just happened?
They're hilarious. They're hilarious. That bullpen, they didn't ever fix the bullpen.
Unbelievable.
But it's got great. I hung out with, I don't want to say which Braves pitcher, but one Braves pitcher came to my show in Texas. We were celebrating afterwards, and he was talking about pitching in the Phillies playoff series last year. I'm like, oh, I must, because I'm a Phillies fan. I was giving a little shit for it. And he's like, nah, it's great energy there. He's like, it's got this. The Philly Stadium has great fuck you energy. He says, he's like, and you feel it immediately. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, look, I'm on Creighton too. I actually think it's going to be a closer. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout. I have this one as like one of the harder games. But sure. I will say, as the Lions climb, the more and the more data I've done on Barnes, the more I'm like, yeah. I think Creighton's. I feel better about it than I did say 2 days ago when we were talking the game.
That being said, if Creighton's missing their shots, now we got a problem because they are a jump shot team, and on the road they're obviously not as good as they are in Omaha. So things can get bad for them as well. But even if that does happen, they can win in different styles as well against Tennessee. Against a different opponent, they'll be in trouble. But here, I mean, I wouldn't be worse if they had to grind out a game versus Tennessee.
So Frankie wanted a parlay for today.
Yeah.
For college hoops. The ones that I feel best about are actually, you know what? I will sway that. I don't want NC State and the Pussy Pack fucking up my parlay.
Yeah, don't put them in there at all.
Give me Gonzaga against Purdue, Houston against Duke, and then Creighton to get it done against Tennessee.
I'll tell you what. Ooh, Gonzaga coming down to 4.5 now. How about a Gonzaga Creighton money line? He said 2 or 3 teamer.
I like that too.
That's a nice one. That would pay right now.
I like that too.
That's 6-1 right there. 2 teamer 6-1.
Get on over there. Fly with the blue. Hey, you know what? It's an omen. I went on a hike this morning.
Yes.
I'll be damned if I'm not sitting there tying my shoe and a fucking Blue Jay comes pretty close to me.
Oh man! So you bet the Toronto Blue Jays.
It's an omen. Maybe we do a Blue Jay parlay. The Toronto.
Oh, I like that.
Creighton Blue Jays.
Get Chris Bassett involved.
Let's go.
Toronto. Yeah, Bassett is pitching for Toronto. I just made that up. They're getting plus money too. Plus 111. Let's do a Blue Jay double team.
Little blue, yeah. There you go. So look, I like your one. We do with Gonzaga, Michael Creighton. Yeah.
But if you want to do 3 team with the spread, what do we suggest them? Creighton, Gonzaga, and then Houston.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that too.
And then we have the Blue Jay parlay. See, you asked for one. We're giving you 3 fucking parlays. Welcome to the college basketball experience, folks. I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S. based and available in 40 different states. P2P social betting is a new and better way to bet. Bet directly against your friends or other users on sports, politics, pop culture, and other events with verifiable outcomes. Plus, they got a ton of fun social features that give it a feel of a betting social network, so to speak. Don't worry. Social network. Don't worry. No one's going to slide in your DM sending you a dick pic in this betting social network. All right. Cut offers lower vig and fully customizable odds. You can create your own bets. How about that, buddy? Create your own damn bets.
I love it. Put your own bullshit lines up there.
Yeah. Get on over there. Yeah, I tell you, Creighton's going to win by 7. All right. So -6, get on over there. You got some drunken uncle telling you that? Boom.
Yeah.
Cut handles the payment side of things too. So I know that drunken uncle will never pay you. Never pay you.
All right.
So you force him to get on Cut. He's got to put the money up first. All right. So what are you doing, folks? Download Cut today in the App Store. Head over to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. And Cannabis Capper has been killing it. So he's been writing articles regarding this, the college basketball underdog fantasy stuff. So check out sportsgamblingpodcast.com or give him a follow on Twitter at Cannabis Capper. But pick whether your favorite player will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's game for a chance to win big. You can win up to 100 times the amount of money you enter in a single night. Pick between 2 and 5 players to build a pick'em entry. The more players you add, the higher the odds go. Sign up today. The promo code TCESGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Visit underdogfantasy.com. Find them in the App Store. Don't forget to register. Promo code TCESGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. All right. We are back. Let's talk a little bit about this. I guess by the way, so your favorite play on Friday, tonight's games, is Creighton?
Yeah, I'd rank it Creighton, Gonzaga, Houston, Marquette. 2 dogs, 2 faves.
I think I would go Houston,
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga,
Mm-hmm.
Creighton, NC State.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
How about I know we're throwing some fun parlays out there, and the chat's eating them up, loving them. I'm also looking at a Zaga parlay. Lady Zags and men's Zags are playing tonight. Lady Zags getting 6-2 plus 200. Having both to advance. Why not?
I jumped on that Caitlin Clark train the other night.
I
was probably
man,
like
I gave out.
What day was that?
Yeah, first West Virginia.
Yeah, it was like a week ago, right? Anyway,
Yeah,
what'd you say you gave out?
It was a couple days ago. I gave out plus 14.5. We had that money line plus 795. It almost came in.
Yeah, it was close. What you said though that you were sprinkling a little bit?
Yeah, why not sprinkle little Lady Zags? Why not? They played tonight, I believe. They played Texas. They played the Lady Horns.
So now we have a Zags parlay. We got to
That's
put.
What I'm saying. Why not toss a little Zag, buddy? Zags. When they zig, we got a Zag. We'll double up the Zags.
What the fuck did I do wrong, Tom?
So we have a couple games scheduled for tomorrow besides our UFL. Subscribe to the UFL Gambling Podcast because we're sharp over there. I mean, we made a fucking killing in the USFL and the XFL last year.
Yeah, we got a lock of all locks for tomorrow. For Sunday's game.
Oh yeah, get on over there. Check out that pod. But
absolutely,
in the middle of that.
One that we all agreed on, which is either a good sign or a bad sign, but we rarely do that. We were all on this. It just jumped out. And so get and listen to that UFL show.
And to me, I know you're probably thinking, why would I do that when the Elite Eight is on? Well, there's only 2 games each day. So I would like to think that you're cool and you want to bet more than 2 games. So, but in Beantown, Illinois is taking on UConn. UConn's laying 8.5.
Is that the first game? It is, huh?
Dude, I'm terrified. So part of me was thinking, I was watching this game. I was like, you know what? Illinois could fuck with UConn. But then I saw the celebration where they got like super soakers.
I saw that too. And the coach is wearing goggles. It's not even a super soaker.
Goggles. What the fuck was happening?
Shirt off, goggles. It's not champagne. It wasn't even a super soaker. It was a standard like knockoff brand, a hand pump gun, and you got goggles on.
I'm terrified. Nah, I got to take UConn now.
UConn by a million after that video clip. You think Dan Hurley is wearing goggles? I mean, he does wear glasses, yes. But the point is,
I mean, dude, I don't know that I've ever seen a like. Okay, you won a Sweet 16 game,
right?
You act like you won the fucking national championship here.
Here's the thing. I know they did, and it was a good win, obviously. But they know what's coming. they know what's coming, and people want to say, "Oh, Illinois is finally playing defense now." I'm not buying it. I think they played against some bad offenses. I think that's all that happened.
I'll tell you this though, man, and I know someone was tweeting at me, "When are you going to stop fading UConn?" Look, first off, I took him against Stetson. All right, I just didn't take him in the first half. Me and CJ took Stetson in the first half.
Did. We had Stetson first half
for the game. I had UConn for the game, and it hit. I did take Northwestern, and they almost backdoored that.
Northwestern almost backdoored. Stetson almost backdoored.
Yeah. And San Diego State, I didn't touch that game. That was just a pick.
You know, it's funny because of that. I was like, I'm not falling for this UConn shit again. I'm taking the first half and they'll be up by 20, and they had to get a 3 at the buzzer basically to cover the first half last night, even though they won by 30.
1,000.
It was the absolute reverse. San Diego State. Yeah, at this point, if you're going against UConn, you're doing it just so you could brag about it. How you were, you know what I mean? Like you were like this is a freight train.
Well, I'll say this though, man. Like they have not faced offensive firepower like this.
No, absolutely not. And I love the way Illinois.
Actually, Creighton would be the closest, and I think Illinois has more offensive firepower than Creighton.
Yeah, you can say that. The way they move the ball, I mean, they could beat any defense. That's why I liked the over last night. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like what they did to Duquesne's defense, they just moved the ball. They were just too fast for him, and Illinois can score with anyone.
Well, and with the crowd behind you, I gotta take you. And the way that Illinois celebrated.
Yeah, this is UConn.
It was like they won the fucking 8,500.
UConn single digits, 8.5. If I'm wrong, oh well. I'm not. I'm just not going against UConn right now. This is insane. What is this? 9 straight they've won by double digits in these tournament games. I mean,
gotta
they
agree.
are just fucking burying teams.
I gotta agree. Clemson, Alabama's the game after. What the fuck is going on? The winner goes to the Final Four in basketball? Now,
I know.
I have a theory that I've said on this show for a long time that you cannot be good at football and basketball at the same time. Mm-hmm. Michigan is proof that dead last in the Big Ten this year. They win the national championship.
Yeah.
Just doesn't work out. You don't get so Alabama had an easy path, and then they upset North Carolina because of, to me, coaching blunders. I thought North Carolina was the better team. I thought it was a horrible beat for anyone that took North Carolina.
Good God. I had North Carolina, but what made me even sicker about last night's game and watching North Carolina choke that game away is it made my Grand Canyon ticket even more worth it. They would have walked it. They would have walked it through this bracket and then had to face Clemson.
Yeah, unbelievable. So Clemson won in Tuscaloosa in the regular season.
Yeah.
But look, Alabama shouldn't have been in the 4-team invitational. They fucked over Florida State and put Alabama in.
Yep.
Right. But technically they got in to the invitational. So that makes me a little terrified of them winning this game against Clemson. Now, Clemson, their football program's kind of been going down. So what I look at when I see this game, I see Clemson as a team that they're going to be on the rise. And since Dabo Swinney's doesn't use the transfer portal, and the ACC's adding heavyweights like Stanford, Cal, and SMU, I think their football program's on the way down, and their basketball program is on the way up.
Yeah,
Clemson. I still think Alabama is one of the. They're just fraudulent to me. Like, great game. Grant Nelson was fun to watch, but to me, they play like idiots. Like, that team plays. It's like you said, Grand Canyon probably should have beat them.
Grand Canyon should have won if they weren't doing a hero ball, or if they would have made half of their 15 missed free throws. At the same time, Alabama last night is as good as they've looked in like 2 months almost, or a month and a half.
But that's Carolina's fault, man.
And the same time, they still didn't look good all game either. They had their spot, but it was definitely Carolina's fault.
Carolina should have slowed that game down. They don't like a slower game.
Right.
Clemson won in Tuscaloosa, so that's an interesting angle. You have the revenge game. I just talked all about why I like Gonzaga in the revenge game.
Yeah.
I kind of just think Clemson's a better team, though.
Well, that's the thing. When Carolina, at least when their starters were out there and they played a little bit of transition D, they were able to play with Alabama and they took the lead. And that's when they were controlling the game. But when the backups were there and it was just an open court.
It was still a sloppy game plan to me. I would have played much slower.
Like you said, you don't let Alabama run like that, because they will. They'll run with anybody and they'll run you out the gym. Clemson won't do that. Their guards. I like Clemson a lot in this game. That being said, I've faded Alabama in every round so far, and they've pissed in my face. I've had College Charleston. I had fucking Grand Canyon. I've had North Carolina. You know what I mean?
I had Carolina. I had Carolina, but I thought this, and I even made a case to Moneyline Mac. I was saying, dude, I'm going to take Carolina, but like, Alabama is not going to get tested, in my opinion. And like, it's a nice bracket. It's a nice bracket.
Alabama has a path for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I think Clemson's that team that, like, just when you look back, that's right. Didn't Clemson make the Final Four a couple, like, fucking 10 years ago or something or 5 years ago? You know what I mean? Like, they're just one of those teams that's going to make that run. And to be honest with you, Clemson, what was the stat? They were, I think they've only not been in the lead for like 5 seconds in this entire tournament. They've fucking been dominating.
Yeah.
They beat Arizona pillar to post yesterday. As bad as Arizona was, they shot them out of it. Like, Clemson has been the best team in every game they've played.
I agree.
After losing by 20 to Boston College.
Which, very scary play.
Tournament a week and a half ago.
The ACC looking dominant, but they're asking if Nick Pringle's out. I don't think he is.
That's a good question.
Because I just checked an injury report, but maybe they also might be late to add it. So keep an eye on that. So he got dinged up. I'm on the Tigers. I think they're live plus 130.
I'm on Clemson. This line shot up. It opened at 1, and then it shot up to 3.5. Now there's been some buyback, and now I'm looking at 2.5. Either way, I think Clemson wins this game. But you know what I love? What's new with me?
230th in pace. You look at Alabama's struggles historically in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And really within some of the SEC. It's been the slower paced teams that fuck with them.
Mm.
I mean, Clemson beat them earlier this year. That's one, but to me, when you can maximize your possessions and make Alabama, really have to, because Alabama, the thing with Alabama, they have athletes and they can run down and shoot a billion fucking shots. They never shoot. A lot of times they don't shoot great shots. You know what I mean? So if you limit the possessions on that, it makes each one of those, low percentage shots that they take and might miss, so much more important. So, I'm going to jump on that. I think Clemson wins outright. Clemson goes to the fucking Final Four. Either way, either of these teams, it's going to be shocking because Alabama's never been to a Final Four. Clemson's never been to a Final Four. So as far as I remember, at least with Clemson.
Yeah. I can't believe one of those two teams will make it, but, Alabama looked mid-season, early season last night for a little bit, but like you said, they weren't tested. I think Clemson will test them more. This will be a more hard-nosed game, which I trust more that Alabama will fumble the ball here than Clemson will. Clemson looks headstrong. And
which one do you trust more? I trust the Clemson one more than I do the Illinois UConn.
Yeah, Clemson is definitely more so. I don't know. I mean, UConn is almost just a blind bet right now. I don't put much thought into it. That was the thing. Like, I knew I was giving away 3 points of value last night to San Diego State. The line should have been 8 or 9. I didn't care. Who cares? Yeah. I mean, who cares? At this point, I just do not care. I want to bet UConn until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, fair. Remember tonight we will be live. Me, Noah Beanick, Moneyline Mac, and if all goes well, I think we're gonna have a little guest.
I'm excited.
A little guest to hop in.
I might even tune in.
But yeah, we're gonna pick some games, and we'll be back. I mean, obviously, we'll be able to pick Sunday's games, but we're not done yet because I think we should bet the fuck out of this game right now before this line goes way up. You might be over on a certain website looking up college basketball lines. And you might scroll down to the bottom because you see all these lines for today, tomorrow, nothing for Sunday, nothing for Monday, but boom, Tuesday.
I love it, Tuesday. I love it.
Fieldhouse, folks, the legendary Hinkle Fieldhouse, great stadium. If you've never been there, get yourself to Hinkle. The Utah Utes traveling all the way to Indianapolis. Is that steakhouse in Indianapolis? What's that called again?
Oh, with the shrimp cocktail?
Yeah. What the fuck is that called again? Get yourself on over there. I don't remember the name of it, but it's renowned.
Peyton Manning, I think, has a part ownership that St. Elmo's, I believe.
You're right. How the fuck that place like one of the older steakhouses in America? How the fuck do you get his big ass forehead on that?
I know. He can go anywhere. He can do anything he wants,
Shout out to David who says check out the Outback in Indianapolis. Great
Outback, fantastic. Bloomin' onion. Throw those peanut shells right on the goddamn ground.
One of my favorite interviews. I was interviewing Jerry Glanville during COVID. Legendary former Atlanta Falcons head coach and Houston Rockets head coach.
The GOAT. Love
great guy, but he was pissed off that
still alive, which is I love it.
Still alive. Still coach. He's a DC. Right. He's a DC in college football.
Still buying an empty ticket for Elvis as he used to do every
year. Yeah, he's a crazy motherfucker. Like back when we had him on the show, great guy, like I said, but he was like I think 79 years old.
Yeah.
And he was still, he was a professional racer. He was in NASCAR and stuff.
Yeah.
He was still doing it.
Big Richard Petty
He had just done a 24-hour race. He had done a 24-hour race somewhere there in Florida. But either way, I mean, he was just a fucking maniac. But one of my favorite parts of that interview was that Outback had missed. So he'd like gone to dinner at Outback. And I guess someone had a gigantic bill there, like at the establishment at the same time, and they charged Glanville's card. And he's like, it's just him and his wife. He thinks it's, and he didn't pay any attention to it. So he's like, they end up charging his card for like a bunch of like $20,000 or something insane. So he was super, super pissed. He used his air time to shit on Outback. You said, they owe me a lot of money.
When he airtime with you?
Yeah.
That's great.
I asked him how his summer's doing. He's like,
absolutely.
everything's great, except for Outback Steakhouse. He's
Except
like,
for
they
those
owe me
sons of
20
bitches
grand.
at Outback. Go to Lone Star, everybody. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely fucking. He put up a Vince Young tab at the Outback Steakhouse.
So yeah, get yourself to St. Elmo's.
But look, so
That
Terry,
being said,
yeah,
let's talk NIT Final Four.
Yes, Terry Holt is in Indiana, and that is where the University of Indiana State is located. Now I know that's Southern Indiana, but it's Indiana. That drives nothing. All right,
that is nothing. And this crowd, this crowd base, this fan base, they've been loving this NIT. They've been showing out. It's been lit at home. This has been the team of NIT.
Milk Chamberlain has been on fire.
Great.
You're telling me right now you can get 2.5. I guarantee you by the time Tuesday comes, right? This shit's going to be at like 4, 5.
Yeah, I do.
Get in on the Sycamores now, minus 2.5.
No one's betting.
It's a home edge. They're going to prove the committee wrong in their mind. Committee's not going to even notice that the NIT is happening, but don't worry. In Indiana State's mind, they're watching every game. So, this is a huge lock. I actually think out of all the games we covered today, this is the one I like most.
Larry,
we're going heavy on the Sycamores.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Michael. How do I pronounce that? Is that Michael? Is that Michael? And I'm fucking that up.
You asking me for pronunciations?
I don't know what's going on.
I love that Milk Chamberlain. Larry Nerd is another one I heard. Pretty good.
I heard Skill Russell.
Hell, Russell is fantastic. But yeah, minus 2.5. Who's taking Utah? Their splits anyway are not great. Utah's.
You know what? And there's another one happened on Tuesday. Georgia is taking on Seton Hall. Seton Hall's laying 3.5.
Now we were on Georgia at Columbus. We said, tuck them 9. We sprinkled the money line. We got that out right.
Blue Cane came through for us,
for sure.
Dude, but they're gonna get fucked up here. Yeah. Seton Hall is just like Indiana State. They want to prove to the committee.
Yes,
and I would say the way the Big East is performing in the NCAA tournament. I said this right after selection, or selection Sunday happened. I said Seton Hall deserved to be in the tournament. They beat UConn. They beat Creighton. They beat Marquette. Wow. I believe. Did they beat Marquette? They definitely beat UConn and Creighton. They deserve to be in the NCAA tournament. I'm laying the 3.5 against Georgia. Both these are locks. We should parlay. Add this to the fucking parlay card. The NIT parlay.
These are the only games I feel good about.
Yeah, these are the best.
But seriously, it is a collision course. We've been waiting for this Indiana State and Seton Hall matchup. That's gonna be a great final. I love the Tuesday Final Four NIT.
Let's go.
It's just so fantastic. And then the championship game a couple days later. Indiana State I love, and Seton Hall just slightly underneath it. Georgia are motivated. You don't have to worry about motivation anymore once you get down to the Final Four or even Elite Eight when it comes to NIT. Those are the first couple rounds. So Georgia will come to play, but yeah, Seton Hall is just absolutely they're a wagon right now, and that's gonna be a great game. So lock them both up. Indiana State, Seton Hall. Is there a way? Are they in the same?
Hinkle, both in Hinkle. Yeah,
they are both in Hinkle. No, I was talking about the Marquette Creighton. Is that the same region?
Marquette and Creighton. What do you? No,
they're not.
Marquette Marquette is in the what is it? The South, the top right corner of the bracket. I got it right here. Where the fuck? I got a physical copy right here.
I asked this. Is there a possibility we can get a Marquette, Creighton, UConn, Seton Hall, all in the Final Fours?
Yes, there is.
In championship game.
There is. Yes.
What a Big East piss in the face of the committee that would be.
That would be fantastic. And get yourself over to Hank. Look, I know this is the weekend bombs, but we're considering Tuesday. Those lines are going to move.
Yeah.
So we wanted to crowbar that in there.
Yep.
Get in on that action. I really feel great about both those plays. Better than anything on the board.
I know.
Get on over there. Take those plays.
Tell Justice Perfect in the chat there. No problem. I'm willing to go over 4 against Alabama, as I will bet on Clemson tomorrow. And shout out to your Tide. Your Tide is rolled damn Tide and all over my face.
Yeah, roll tide and roll tide. I mean, I was on Carolina. I was on Carolina yesterday, but I was on the Tide against Charleston and Grand Canyon.
I was on Charleston money line. I think this.
you that's the UNLV for you in basketball. Has been roll tide.
Oh,
folks, I mean, this is our fucking show. We'll be back tonight.
Beautiful.
Beanick, Mac,
possible
special guest. We're gonna try to finagle. Enjoy the games, and obviously we'll be able to talk about Sunday's games. Don't forget to check out the UFL gambling podcast, as I've mentioned 30 times. Mm-hmm. Me, CJ, J Mark went through, and we got some clear cut winners carved straight down to the bone.
I mean, I might have to lock up that 3-team parlay. The one super lock we got in the UFL this weekend, which you have to listen to the podcast for.
Oh yeah.
And those 2 NIT bombs right there.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Get on over there. Get on over there. And hey, the Phils turns out they only lost 9-3. Glad they're up 2-0 and looking strong.
First 5 innings.
Check out the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, folks. The MLB gambling podcast, if that's your cup of tea. College baseball experience. Beanick was doing episodes into the wee hours. College football experience just dropped a Sun Belt preview for 2024. The FCS college football experience is already talking transfer portal, quarterbacks, running backs, everything. We had a Frozen 4 episode go out. There's a bunch of Frozen 4 action too happening. It's going to be great. I mean, the games are happening right now, folks. Check it all out. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. We'll be on the show tonight. VSiN.
Yes.
6:00 Pacific. Check out VSiN Live TV, Brett Musburger's network. We will be on that action, talking all things sports. Essentially, I think there's you. Honestly, J Mark's talking UFL. I think you're talking what NBA.
Yeah, I got to get together. I got to get together.
I'm talking college hoops over there.
Yeah, I do. I got some NBA ladders for you guys on the VSiN Live. I bring that ladder chatter from the Laddie Daddy.
Let's go.
I'm about to change that Laddie Daddy name now that P Diddy is getting in there. It's a little get confusing.
Well, I don't get they bring the head cold, but they're counting down 7-6-5.
Oh man, and I guess I could say this too.
I want this pilot. It's a matter of national security.
I think it might be, folks. Till next time. This is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. See you in a few hours. And we out of here. Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the cameras. Run and shoot.
Yes.